What's up, everyone? I'm on here today. I'm going to show you all my Minecraft world. I got like a lot to show you, general overview of everything. I'm John. I've been doing this since about 2013. I used to play it on the old Xbox 360 version, and then I switched over to the Xbox One version. And I've been building stuff ever since. And it's wild. Like, you would definitely get lost in here, like, if you just got dropped in the middle of this thing. But it's huge. So, this is a map that I built a long time ago. And it still don't have, like, all the stuff on it. Like, I got a big giant school over here built, and I got a whole big town down here built. And you can't really see it. But, like, you get real close to it, you can see it. If y'all notice this black spot right here, it's because I'm playing on the same TV I was back then, too. But yeah, I figured we would take like the train, like these red things are like train rails, and I would just like point at stuff and show y'all things as we go through. Well, here's another small little map real quick that I made not too long ago. Let's see if I can get it in the frame here. You can't really see it because there's no light. Let me turn on the light real quick. See if that helps. Alright, see if this helps. So these are all the different places here. Like, you can barely kind of see them. I don't know if you can really see them or not. But there's all these little like districts and towns and things like that. And then I also built my hometown Jackson, best I could. I couldn't really build it block for block. I've never been in a lot of people's houses or anything like that. Okay. So on another page here, where's it at? I just counted them before I went on air. There is 62 Minecraft stations that we can stop and look at or whatever. But I don't think we're going to do that. I think we're just going to get on the main line and go for it. So, let me get over here first before I start explaining anything. So that big building over there, that big old gray building, let me turn this light back off, it's killing me. I'm going to try to make this quick and enjoyable as possible, but I don't do podcasts, I don't do anything like this. So if there's anybody out there that really wants to like put all this stuff back together, show like a greatest hits, that'd be awesome, but I mean, probably not. Because it's my world, it's literally called John's World, that's what I called it back then. And it has like districts like Johntown and shit like that. So why would anybody want to do that? My ex-brother-in-law built me this big thing over here, this big Fallout Boy. It's absolutely massive. No, it ain't a Fallout Boy. It's a Vault Boy. So let me sit down here. Hopefully y'all can still hear me. Get back here so I can see the camera. That way if anything kind of messed up goes on, I can see it. Let me know if you can't hear anything. Alright, so this is the Johntown main station. You got like a stairwell that goes up, and we'll walk up the stairwell real quick. And I kind of got it all sectioned up by color and everything, and there is a guide in this world that shows you what all the stations and everything are. Like there's purple, and there's like signs like Railway 4, that's to the school. And this is like Rail 32, which that'll take you all the way to Prime. It used to be double laned, and then I sectioned it off, and I was like, it don't need to be double lane. There's not really people coming to and from, so I made it a single lane. How is everybody this morning? This is on live, by the way, for if anybody goes back and watches this. That's why I'm asking all these questions, instead of why you asking all them questions. Alright, so let me just get you on the main line here for a second. There's like a waiting area over here. Try to put some benches and stuff, and then down here is another station down here. And if you follow this purple line, this is the line that actually leads you to Prime. Like, it just goes on and on and on forever, I can't remember how long it took me to get all the way around the track. But let me get a minecart here. Let's see, which way do we want to go? Because there's a main line up here somewhere that, oh, it starts over here. The yellow one. Like the yellow brick road. Whatever. Now when I start this, I'll have to like pan over and stuff real quick, and hopefully I get as much stuff as I can. But like places like Johntown, which are huge, that need to have an in-depth look. I can't really like say like whatever building is while we're going past them. All right, and we're off. So down here is like Johntown. This is the whole Johntown. This is, I think, South Johntown, and over there on the other side of the school you got North Johntown. This is East Johntown over here, across the river. And then way back there is West Johntown. This is Treetop Town. It's just kind of a big thing that one of my ex-wives built, a long time ago. And they did a really good job on it, so I'm not going to get rid of it. Over there's the Family Guy house. Well, kind of saw it there for a second. But we're going across this jungle and stuff now. Like this, it's kind of a scenic route. Like I built some kind of like Mayan temple over there a long time ago, which is pretty cool. Eventually we'll go in it. That over there is one of my favorite stations. It's called Mushroom Station. It's one of the first stations built. It's made because that's all on like a mushroom island. Mushroom or whatever you want to call it. Down there is the prison and the docking where you can bring people in, and you can kind of see under. There's like a maximum security thing. But this is actually one of my favorite parts of the map over here. Like you can kind of see like there's a Mario map, and I'll jump off and I'll show you this real quick because it's really one of my favorite things just because it's so accurate. We'll go down into the station and we'll walk out. You can kind of see SpongeBob's thing over there, and you see a Pac-Man, and yeah, hang on. Okay. Remember, guys, we gotta go left once we get out of here. So let's walk down these stairs. Usually they got names on these stations somewhere. That's how I can remember them all, but I can't remember them all off the top of my head. Even the creator of his own world can't remember it. It's just still human. Alright. Well, there's no name on it. But I imagine that's Poptown Station. Because this is Poptown. It's just a lot of pop culture references. So here's like the Mario world. Like if I zoom out, you can kind of see like everything. It goes all the way to the end. It's like a 3D Mario world thing in Minecraft. Like the original Mario. I know some people on there has watched it. So here's my ColecoVision. Well, not ColecoVision. I actually got a ColecoVision on its way. I got it on pre-order and stuff, so hopefully when I get that in, I actually get to try a Coleco. But we'll go in here. Like you can see, it's just like a big factory thing, like where you could create Colecos and, like they have a headquarters or whatnot. And back here is like a testing area. Whatever. This is my Donkey Kong level. And you can't make it like slanted. It's Minecraft, so I mean you have to do that. So it kind of looks different, and then there's not a black background back here. So that's the things that are different about it. This was one of the temples that was built. I guess it spawned in the game. And I'm not going to destroy a temple to put a city. What do you think I am, a politician? I'm not about to do that. So, this is SpongeBob's houses and stuff, and I don't have the inside of it done. If I can even open the door. I can't even open the door. But you can kind of see in here. Not much, though. There's Squidward's house. It's just kind of open, I guess I took the Grand Theft Auto approach on it and really didn't do any insides. But I do remember I did Patrick's because it was easy. It was made out of sand. You come in here and you got his countertops. You got his TV. You got his couch. And you got his bed. It's Patrick. I mean, what else you want me to do to them? I mean, I can't really put Starfish in here, I guess, but this is the Sega headquarters. And I kind of want to make it like a 60s retro futuristic building. You know, I come up with this idea, this design. I probably need to put some windows. But, yeah. Like just executive spots and stuff like that. Really want to make this like based around like video games and stuff like that. Now, you see the big Pac-Man thing up here? Okay, so let me show you what that leads to. If you go over here, there's like a little mini mall down here. And within this little mini mall, like I plan on putting like EB Games and GameStop and, you know, places like that in there, you know, just the way it is in real life. You know, they don't have no mega castle or anything. But this is Pac-Man. And it's weird looking at it like 3D, like when you actually go down inside of it here. It's like a big maze, like. Can you imagine just be like getting ready to go around this corner and like see one of them ghost things? Like, it'd be kind of scary, to be honest. But this is one of my favorite arcade games of all time. Like, I literally go to the bar down here, and I might get me a beer or two, but I'm literally going down there and play the Pac-Man game they got down there. And eventually I'm going to beat that high score. Unless the machine or some drunk falls into it or whatever. Okay. So this was all of Pop Town. Oh wait, no, there's a Nintendo over here. Forgot Nintendo. Well, the Mario thing was the first thing I built. And I kind of based the whole town around it, which kind of creates a big divide right through the middle of the town, which was not the intention. So, this is the only thing on this side of town. This is Pac-Man. But it's just like Nintendo Corp, or whatever you call it, Nintendo Entertainment System, headquarters of Johntown. I don't know. You know, you got Nintendo Entertainment Systems of America, and you got Nintendo Entertainment Systems of Japan. Well, this is Nintendo Entertainment Systems of Johntown. And, yeah, that's Pop Town right there. So, let's get back on the train. Back at Pop Town Station. So, I said we needed to go left. But this ain't the right station. We gotta go on up. One more. Yeah, here we go. We'll take off and you go this way. It used to be forever until I can realize like you can do electric rails. Do you see how smooth like they go up? Like they're not jagged. Like you don't go up and over, up and over. Well, it took me forever to realize you could just do it that way. Or they might have been an update or something. But then you can just go straight up with it. Alright, this is Small Town, I think. Let me find my book over here. It's just kind of like a backwoods type town. It's supposed to be. Okay. Smallwood, that's what that's called. Now this place down here, it's called Junction. It's just it's a farming place. There's a 4-H building there. Shauna built her little house over there. We'll go look at it here in a little bit. But this is one of my favorite stations. Can't remember the name of it. One of the first stations I built. Let me, oh shit. Sorry. Don't mean to cuss on this. I know, like, probably kids watching and stuff, but. This is Burning Man down here. You can't really. If I can get out of my cart for a second, I'll show you. So, unfortunately, that's the only way to stop in this town. You just kind of have to, like, keep mine track handy. So, from Johntown, if we follow this track straight back, it'll take you back down to Johntown. We're taking the longer route, so it's kind of like the scenic route, the Golden Trail. And for new people on here, this is my Minecraft world that I've been doing since 2013 on there. I said it earlier, but if there's any new people on here, let's see. Are there anybody? Oh, there's one person. Cool. Excuse me. But this is Burning Man. I made a Burning Man down here, and over there, that's Robertson Subdivision. That's places where I've grew up or lived, or, you know, that's really interesting. You know, to me. I don't know if it's interesting to anybody else, but. So, let's see. Well, no, wrong button. Okay, if we keep on going down the Golden Trail. Over there is another place I used to live called Moberly Avenue. And this is Lee's College. I used to work here. And I used to go to school here too. I haven't built the one in Leslie County yet, but I'm going to. This is the old version of it. There's a big old building that sits right there now. And you can see it's kind of like jerky. But this is hell. You know, I just try to make as many punishments as I possibly could for no reason. See what happens. And there's like a trail of like a fire maze and, you know, the big phallus thing there that you can get dropped down into and die, you know, or whatever. But it's kind of ironic. It's surrounded by wooden walls. So, I mean, ignorance is key at that one. There's a Dollar General. There's always a Dollar General. Let's see. Oh, God. Okay, let me jump out real quick. Again. This is Prime. It's just a place I made. Where's the sign at here? Down here. This is the pink and purple station. Why not call it that? There's a lot of things built here too. The main station for it. It has a lot of junctions to it, and I started doing this. It tells you like at the street level which rails are attached to it. You know, there's pink line, there's orange line, there's whatever kind of blue line that is, that blue line, that blue line, that green line. Like, it's a lot. It really is, but it's very intricate, and it gets you where you need to go. That was going to be City Hall. It just kind of turned into a landmark building. I tried to make like a super subway, and you'll see what I'm talking about when I mean like super subway. I tried to make like the perfect one. You know, you had the powered stuff up there, you got water lines running through here, and then you got electricity running through the bottom down here. You can still get in all these things. I still made it like service accessible and whatnot, but I'm getting sidetracked here. Let me get out of here. If you walk up top of this station, this is where we need to go back to anyway. It's a long way to the top if you want to like ride some minecarts or whatever AC/DC said. Okay. So eventually, like you see how it's like multicolored. Well, it'll eventually start breaking off, and you'll realize what line is what. But I just want to make a pattern. This is the orange and blue line. Just takes you different places, I guess. This one actually goes back under and comes back on this side over here. That's that weird blue line. That takes you to Lee's College, pretty sure. Yeah, Lee's College Station. Okay, and then that takes you to... You know, we're not going to guess, because it just sounds like I'm just don't know what I'm talking about. But I do know what I'm talking about when it comes to this place. I just can't remember everything. Alright, let's get back on the Golden Line. Like I said, Dollar General. And this is like a train service depot place, the train line place. The Transit Authority, I guess that's what you call it. There's a Redstone Museum over there, in one of those. And then I think there's a cage match and another one going on. Like a wrestling cage match. This is another little town I built. Might call it Powerpuff City because it has the colors of Powerpuff Girls, I just realized. Okay. This is a college I built. Let me get onto this station. That's the first time I ever stopped on one block like that, too. Okay. So this is still part of Prime, I guess. Let me make sure here. Yeah, this is part of Prime. Where we was at before, that's North... No? This might be South Prime. My maps are not completely accurate, and it's been a minute since I played this game. But I made a Magic Mart, which is kind of like... I don't know if I built shelves in this or not. No, there's one I built shelves in and stuff. Well, I try to keep everything closed, keep the animals out. Some animals tend to go in there. This is like a dock station. Like you bring all your stuff in through the bays and stuff like that, and I lit up everything under it. Bring it over here, and it'll either get taken out or it'll get taken up here in like storage. You know, there's no coverage over it. You know how long it takes to like put a roof on this place? I've already did like the ground. It took me forever to do that, so it's just gonna be open air. All right, now over here to this college I built. This is one of my favorite ones too. Got like a football field over here. And I use like glowstone or something. Well, it's not glowstone, it's called something else. It's like the football field, whatnot. This is home. These are away. And they had some really cool looking classrooms. I'd go to school here, let me just say that. Let's walk in here. Which side is it here? It's this one, I think. Like you got a waterfall in your school. Like, how cool is that? Okay. We can just go in any one of these classrooms. See, it's like a step down. You got like windows, and we never had anything like this in school. It's almost like a university setting, you know. And I guess it could be a university. I mean, I ain't really delegated it to, you know, whatever. But then up here, this is like 2-story rooms, you know, with a projection screen if you know, needed. It's just like mini theaters. Like I said, I'd definitely go to school here. It'd be cool. It reminds me of like a place where like all the smart kids would go. Like a model school or something like that. I don't know if it'd be called a model school. I think that's just the name of that one down here. But it's like a private academy and stuff. Over there is administrative building, and this would be like the lunchroom, I guess. If there's a lunchroom or whatever. Barely got something built in here right now. Yeah, this is a it's like a fallout shelter type thing, or just like a small house or whatever, you know. This would be like the small house vehicle RV thing. I don't know. I don't remember exactly, like spaceship. Bro, I don't know. I built it. That's the one thing I don't know. And this would be like a fallout shelter, you know. Even though there's no nuclear bombs in Fallout, I like to think, you know, it could break out at any time, and I like everybody to be like cautious and prepared. And so I built a lot of Fallout shelter stuff. Plus, I'm a big like Fallout fan. So it's gonna fall. It's gonna fall into this game. No pun intended. Let's see what we got going on here. Hey, Uncle Steve, what you doing? I just now noticed you was online. Ryan's online too. My friend from Indiana. See, that's crazy. Like, I got people on here from southeastern Kentucky. I got people all the way from Indiana. You know, places like that. You know, I went out and, you know, did stuff by music and met a lot of people and stuff over the years. So, I mean, I really appreciate everybody, you know, getting on here and at least checking it out, because I've worked on this forever. I was still living in Breathitt County with my granny and papa when I started this. And I've been through 2 marriages and lived in a whole bunch of different places. And one thing I've always had was this one, you know, little world. You know, not to fall back on or anything, like you can't fall in it, but, you know, I just had it. Let's get back on the golden line. Yeah, this is the one moves on. Oh. Over here, that's a little loop. We're getting ready to go around it. It's kind of, I kind of wanted to base it off like a coal town where everything's kind of like in the middle or whatnot. And there's actually some actual real venues that I've played at in here too. That's one of those, the water falls from there and it activates and does something, does this, does that. Like a Rube Geiger, whatever it's called. One thing leads to another. A conducts C, B messes with C, and C goes into D, whatever. Okay. This would be like the White House thing that I built. This is, I don't know, some kind of legal thing. You know, you gotta have some sort of government, you know, here. Even though there's just one person. Like, it's weird. Over here's a zoo. I have like an aquarium in there and stuff, and we'll go back through all this stuff in detail here in a little bit. This is the arena of arenas. Like, there's a whole bunch of different things, like places in here that you could like have concerts or whatnot in, and pretty neat. Like, we're getting ready to go all the way around this. So that's my house over there, like a big mansion that I built. Still in progress. I mean, it don't look pretty, you know, or anything, but it serves its purpose. So we're gonna go all the way down here. So I'm gonna cut some of this out real quick, because it's just a long trail and it don't really like. I can do it faster like this. I made a music machine over here. So that Poptown's over there. So basically we just made like a big old giant circle. Now we're coming back around here. Starting to get dark. Might go try to find a bed real quick, fall asleep. That way we can wake up in the morning and go for it, you know. Made a big redstone place and a big tower in the middle of it. It holds like lava and whatnot. This is Rainbow Road. You can like get in your flying thing and you can just speed through here and it looks pretty cool. It's like one of every block that you can get at a whatever certain time it was. And it don't look like it, but over here it's kind of like an amusement park. You know, I think I watched a video of like Six Flags New Orleans and how it was like destroyed and stuff. I was like, you know, I'd probably do something like that on here. And this is the roller coaster. Obviously you can't put loops and stuff. It's more like a lazy coaster, you know, to be honest. That's like the pool that goes down into this pool. Yay. Now you owe me $5. There's the lazy river. The pumpkin patch. Oh, and this thing. It's like a bungee jump, but you don't get caught. You just jump down here on the slime and it bounces you. Yeah. Fun, kids. It's all fun. Then you can go frolic in the flowers over here, you know, the flower gardens or whatnot. You can take a nice little trail off, and that took forever to do, really. Everything here took forever to do. We're going to go back over here. This is, what station is this? This would be, I think it's Rainbow Station. Like, they used to be, well, they might, if I never put them here, they didn't used to be, but, oh, here it is. Rainbow Junction Station, that's what it's called. There's different places you can get to on here. But we're going to continue on the yellow line, southbound to Newtown. Now, Newtown is a huge town. I mean, it's a massive town, full of skyscrapers and all kinds of stuff. So you think that you saw some big towns before, you ain't seen nothing yet. And it takes a second to get all the way down here. But again, I'm going to show you this map again, show you where we're at on it, show you where we started, because that's all we're going to be doing for a second. Okay. So if we look, see if I can get it zoomed in here just a little bit better. Okay, so we like started like up in this area in Johntown. Okay, we went down and we come back through here, down through Smallwood, back up through here, come down through here, straight down. Now we're going down to the bottom here. So we've only went like just a little bit through here. We ain't even went on the outsides here. We ain't went to Jackson, which is my hometown. I haven't showed you the big ice road that takes, like, it looks small, but that's probably the longest road in this whole map. Because it has a crook. But these are the regions over here, if anybody had any questions about those. The Origination, Homeland, Metrop, Genesis, Distance, and Jackson. But yeah, we're coming into Newtown right now. That's the biggest building. It goes as deep as you can get to as tall as you can get. This was the lighthouse you used to see when you come here. There's a big road, not a road, well, it's a rail track that leads all the way back to Johntown, like a straight to Johntown, or what was that place called? I told you, Treetop Town. But we're getting ready to come into Newtown. And I don't remember if we're going to go all the way around Newtown or not. It used to. I'm pretty sure it still does. So we might not even have to get out here. So here's a big skyscraper. I guess that could be Target. I don't know. This is like a hotel. That was the first skyscraper I built. There's the house I'm currently sitting in right now. This is a huge skyscraper I built. And before we leave here, I'll show you some stuff. This is the ECW arena over in Philadelphia. There's a big public park back here. I leased some property out to some Chinese entrepreneurs, and they made this big place here. It's a big building. You know, it's all kayfabe, whatever. These are all shops, you know, little stores, whatnot. This is a church. I think it's a non-denomination. You want to call it that? Over there's Grove Street from San Andreas. Now we made our way back to the big building. So before we leave here, there's a record shop. So before we leave here, I'm going to show you Newtown. And you remember a while ago when I was talking about super subways and stuff like that, super railways? Well, this is where I kind of perfected what I was talking about. So you come down in here and you got the colors and everything, and this train track basically goes around the whole station, the whole city as a subway, kind of like what we just did, but there's two different lines. This is the purple line. It'll take you to Cass Technical High School out of Detroit. Big old school. It ain't there anymore, which we might go there here in a second, because the gold line will take us back to Jackson, or we'll go that way, and either way we can get back to where we're going. Alright, so I'll take you around the subway real quick. This is the purple line. You can get on it here, like you can get off here basically, and then you can get on the line here, or if you're already down there, then you have to catch a train line down here, whatever. This goes to that big green building. You can see it up through here, and if you like views of places, like this town definitely has views. Like this was built over top of a big cavern, and I opened up the floor. That way you can like walk across it and see it. But we're gonna go top this building real quick. So basically this is a big hallway down here. And if you go in here, you have a chance to get to either side. There's two different elevators. You can't access the whole building from one elevator. That's what I'm saying. So if we go up through here, well, we gotta fly up. So in survival, this would kind of suck unless you had like steps that you could build all the way up through here. That's the first level, and we're going up the second level now. And eventually it'll turn into the third level, but you won't know. Yeah, this is the I don't know, the elevator tower, I guess, where you can, if you wanted to, you could fly over, I guess. But I mean, just look at the views of these places. Put different grass on the top of each one of those. That's a building that's made with the diagonal pattern instead of the square pattern. So every diagonal pattern that goes up, like it has to go straight up. It can't, you know, go left or right or whatever. Let's go over here and look at the view of this other one. That's the, I know this is a cliche, but that's the old Newtown over there. Okay, this is the levee that I've built to keep, you know, the water, you know, kind of squared away on one side. Okay, babe. Yep. Come on, get in there. Kind of, it's similar views, really. You can kind of see other things, I guess. Like you can see that tower, which is the original one. That one took forever. I built it a different way. I think I built it floor by floor. This one, I think I built the outside first, and then I built the floor with the inside. Alright. So we actually do need to go up to the, I think, the second level here to get out. Yeah. No, it's on the bottom. That's right. You have to go out the bottom. It's quiet on here. Too quiet. Okay. You can kind of see that building in the shadow over there. The closer you get to it, the bigger it gets. That's what she said. Damn it, I did it again. Alright, if we go up here, this is where I live. Okay. Currently, this is where we're at. So I'm currently sitting like right here. The camera's right here. The TV's right here. Okay? And I basically made it like a cat condo for Olivia. You getting big, girl. You cute. Alright. Go back a little bit. Okay, over here I made a Blockbuster. What did I call it? Oh yeah. It's weird. BL space O space CK double space BU space ST space stir. How you spell Blockbuster? Buster. Yeah, okay. But in here, it's just all movies that me and Shauna's, you know, watch together and stuff like that. And we don't really watch a lot of movies, so it takes a while for this thing to get filled up. Alright, here's a Walmart. Yep, no corporations in my town, by God. Anyway, this is the ECW arena. Look, this is kind of what it would look like when you walked into it, you know, back then. But I think I got it kind of off. Like, I think the stage is supposed to be over there. That's the only thing I think I think the orientation is just a little bit off. But, you know, this is where they would have came out. These are the posts that I had to walk around every night. You know, if you watch stuff like that. This is the crow's nest where they would have fought over to, and yeah. I didn't reminisce about that forever. The inside don't look like it, you know, because I don't double layer stuff half the time. I'm not 100% accurate on things. This is a big arena. You can kind of see. And I bet you're wondering, like, oh, what's all that in there? Well, that is like, it's kind of like parkour stuff. I mean, you can't like throw balls or jump ramps or anything like that. So, I mean, if you can, let me know how to do that. That'd be cool. But basically, it's just like a parkour challenge. That's kind of like the main sport around here. Then you got the hotel there. Went to the Target. Show y'all the. Oh, this is the. I'm trying to say this on here. This is the left-handed cigarette place where you procure left-handed cigarettes. This is the greenhouse up here, or it could be a hot box, whatever. Just needs a door. Bring your own door. It's like a community center place, I guess. I just put a roof on it the other day. Well, it was actually about 2 or 3 months ago, to be honest. I never put any lights in it. Might be like a mason. No, I ain't gonna be no masons. I think I'll put that in here. Or will I? You'll never know. Ned's Grand Ole Record Store. Now, the people who know me, I used to have a music store called Ned's Grand Ole Music Store. Go figure. It took me forever to do the floor. I had to do it like one piece at a time, and every one of these, they'll have like a different record in them. And it looks like fish, don't it? Like it kind of looks like Nemo fish, but it also kind of looks like butterflies. So I mean, I don't know. Swag though, for sure. Now we're gonna go down here to this this church. I mean, I guess when I said it was non-denomination, it had to be whatever Christian was. You can, I don't know, Pentecostal. That's what I grew up as. But I say non-denomination because if you believe in, my theory is if you do good and you're trying to do the right thing and you believe in God, and it doesn't matter what God you believe in, they're all going to take you to the same place. There's only two sides to a coin. There's good and bad. There's not, well, you was this type of good or you was this type of good. No, there's only good and there's only bad, and anything in between, you're going to have to answer for. Okay, so sorry to get on a philosophical thing there, but I had this discussion last night. These are some, I want to say Brooklyn style apartments. They're still not done. They're still being worked on. So this is something in the middle stage of everything that's being worked on. Like it ain't got no window in there. The stairs are not properly done. Yada yada. Okay. This is a Cluckenbell, I'm pretty sure. Yep, Cluckenbell. It's off of San Andreas. And I don't have the exact colors they did. But this is the 24/7, which is a parody of the 7-Eleven in real life. Okay. I guess this is like the Ganton Bridge, which Ganton is based off Compton. And I started building Ryder's house and CJ's house. Oh, excuse me. And Sweet's house. I'm gonna build OG Logs and all the other random ones eventually. I just ain't made it there yet. This is the 10 bottles, I think is what it's called, garage. Oh, and that. Yeah, that's a that's just a big building I built, big pyramid type thing. I was gonna build an hourglass, and I got about halfway through it. I'm like, nah, that's a lot of work. You know how long it takes a long time to build a pyramid, because if you start like at the top, it's 1. Okay, that don't take too long. Then it's like 4, or not 4, but 8. Okay, that's not too bad. And then you keep going, and eventually you start getting up to like 100 per side, and it's like, oh, this sucks. This is just a house I built. Because I think I was going to build a subdivision over here. Built my own Stonehenge. Best I could, It's weird signs and stuff. Alright, so that's all of Newtown, basically. Oh yeah, besides this big thing. I'll show you this real quick, then we'll go back to where we're going. This one in the big giant tower. We haven't went in that one yet. Look at this thing. This is like, that was creepy. walked in this thing, it was like, yeah, okay. It was weird. But you can build these big, gigantic, monolithic structures in this game, and it's just like nothing you've ever seen before, you know. It's just cool, and let's go up into it. We're gonna ascend. Yeah, so I don't, it looks like it could be a stadium, you know, in a way, but it don't really have like a big floor. It don't really have a lot of floors in it yet. I kind of want to leave it open though. Now we're going to go to the big giant one over here. I'm flying as fast as I can too. This is as fast as it'll go. Everything's just so huge. It just don't look like I'm going that fast. Okay, before we even go in, I want to show you this. There's a boat place down here, and then the train station leads into it over here. Yeah. So this is at street level right here. And like you come in here, you can really see like, well, you can't even see the top of this thing. It's so massive. And the bottom. Did I go all the way to the bottom? Hang on. We kind of did. It ain't finished though. But that's as, it goes as low as it can get to the highest it can get. I'll just say that. Okay. Let's ascend. We didn't even take the elevator. That's the elevator right there. We're just going to go right up the middle. And this is just like places like housing and recreation spots. Let's just say like it wasn't nuclear and everything, you know, that killed everything, but you can't go outside or whatnot. People could live in this big giant building, you know, forever. Especially if you had like a ways and means of air and whatnot. I keep saying whatnot a lot. Like I said, I am not a podcaster. I'm not like someone who does this for a living. This is just something I've enjoyed doing my whole life. Building stuff. And really it's been on creative mode. I've never really played the storyline of this game. Now this is hard. I'm going to try this one time. But I got to jump across here. Oh god, nope. See, that's hard. But it leads over here to this big old floating platform. It's kind of based off of the Dragon Ball Z thing. See, we're in another galaxy now. We're not even in Johntown anymore. We're in outer space. Okay. We're gonna go down. That's basically all of Johntown. I know I didn't take you through all that stuff over there, that building. It's basically just big open buildings and stuff. Like, I will show you the big Chinese building real quick. And fly by this one while we're at it. It's just an open building. Guess I've never done the backside to this one either. There's a lot of stuff I haven't done on here. Because I get sidetracked and start doing something else. Or I get tired of doing one thing and I go start doing something else. But it's really cool. Like, I made sure that, like, there's a water system that runs under here too. I didn't get to show you that in the subway. So let me go back in the subway real quick. Let's see, let me find, let's go this way. We're going to take this line here in a second. Okay, so I think it's here. Yeah, you can get up to it from here. So this whole town has a water system. Like, you can really access the water from anywhere that you know, within desire or necessity. But this goes back out to the ocean. I thought it did. Okay, maybe it don't. Maybe it's supposed to. Maybe I just never done it yet. Because this is supposed to lead into there. Let me go back in here. Because I just showed you a little clip of the water stuff. So, you know, it goes all the way down through here. All the way under the town. And that's the purple line right there. I could have just went through there. I didn't know that. But I guess it has to go this way, you know, from there. Because it goes downhill. And this takes us in, well, I guess that don't. There's a way to get up right here. Right, this is the old Johntown. This is my big opera house that I built. It's huge. We'll go in here. Go on the stage and I'll turn back and look at it. See? Pretty big. Oh, there's like a secret spot up here. I'm gonna show you all real quick. So if you see, it's not that way. You got to get up to the top of this thing somehow. And I'm not 100% on how I did it. Maybe it's not off of the stage. Maybe you got to go through here. Because there's one on each side. Just kind of takes you backstage. Everything's so dark. Well, that's the way it is backstage. Okay? Don't mess around backstage in the dark. Okay? Alright, so we go up here. These are lights. It's like the rim lights around top. Everything's controlled with electric here too. I've tried to make it as realistic as possible when it comes to things. So basically where we're at right now, we're over top of the crowd. We're walking above the crowd, and this is like a little secret, you know, spot. The window. Now when we go back outside, I'll look up and I'll show you where this is at. But that's the only way you can get to this spot. So if there's a fire, you're SOL. Alright, let's get out of here. Place gives me the creeps. I'll get the John Wilkes Booths walking in here. Alright. Or the Lincolns, that's what it would be. It'd be the Lincolns. It wouldn't be the Booths, it'd be the Lincolns. I'll get the Lincolns walking to the theater, just gets creeped out. I feel like something just goes right through my head. Don't understand it. Alright. This is like the courthouse, whatever. Can't really see in the courtroom from here. I guess this would be the courtroom. As you can tell, like, there's nobody that ever goes to trial here. There's nobody that lives here. I'm so alone. Built this dock. Little light out here. It used to look a lot bigger until, you know, somebody, not mentioning any names, John, put this big old water break right there. You still come out here, just enjoy you can still kind of enjoy it that way, just don't look that way. All right. Also under these, there's like roads. They're hollow. And if you ever need to, there's fallout shelter down here. This is like just a concert area on the beach type thing. You follow that and you go into here, and it's all surrounded by, you know, that obsidian rock, whatever, and it's kind of done but not. Little secret tunnels all around through this map too. Anyway, I want to take y'all on down to Cass Technical High School. If you got a Minecraft world, do it, man. You know, talking to Ryan Davis on that one, because you know he's very inspirational. He's a really good artist. He does a lot of really abstract and normal things. Like, they're not normal, you know, and some things might, you know, unsettle you a little bit. And it, you know, that's part of his art. It's really cool, you know. So, back out here. This is a place in Detroit. You can look it up. It's called Cass Technical High School. This is the old one. It's not there anymore. And they used to. It was kind of like a, what do you call it? Like a higher up school. Like, it had like a lot of model kids there too. Excuse me. And it's just a really big school for its time. I mean, it's still a big school. It was built during the WPA days. I'm pretty sure. Like, you go up here and, I mean, it's just massive. Like, this is the original school right here. And then they actually made it bigger by building onto it. I think it was around the 80s, 70s, 80s, something like that. And they built this whole big other spot onto it. But we're going to go in here and we're going to explore it a little bit. Because, I mean, what I did is, there's a site called Detroit Tube Index. And someone has went on there and they have basically went out floor by floor and said, this is the classrooms, this is it. And it's a 2D model. Well, I took that one step further and I made that a 3D model on here. And, you know, it's based off of theirs. So hopefully theirs is pretty accurate. And I've also went off pictures and stuff like that, because I know some of it wasn't 100% accurate, and it's hard to make it 100% accurate when you're going in there after a school is closed down. You're like, oh, this is the way it was, this is the way it was. But no, there's been lots of remodels and all kinds of stuff. But if you know anything about architecture and construction, then you can kind of put two and two together and make a really legit, you know, go at something that isn't there anymore. Like, I think the school was demolished in like 2013 or 16 or something like that. Alright, so let's get into it. They had these big old vaulted ceilings in here. Like, seriously, look it up as I'm going through here, because it's a really cool place. I think it's called, if you look up Cass Technical High School, there should be a site called Detroit Tube Index, and it has very detailed, in-depth pictures. I might even put a link in the description, you know, just because this building, it's massive. There's like 9 floors, and you know, they're kind of laid out the same way. But I'm gonna show you some key highlights about the school, and you know, try to give you all some, I don't know, an in-depth look at it. So this would be the stage, and it was a massive school, man. I mean, they was thousands of kids go here easy, you know. I mean, just think about it. You know, if you was in a school back in the day, and you had this many kids going there, it would kind of been scary. It wasn't like back in the holler where you had 300 kids in your school at best. There was 3,000 in this one. Like, and it's crazy. All right, so we'll go down here to the old gym. This is the old gym. And I put a track up top and stuff. It's supposed to be like angled, but you can't make it angled. And I guess this gym, wasn't big enough to house their games and, all that stuff over the years. So they built a bigger gym in the 80s on that new addition. But if you go back through here, this is one of my favorite spots in this whole school. It's the pool, the old pool. They quit using this one, really early on. I don't remember when. Probably when they got the new pool built, and you'll understand why when we get to the new pool. It's considerably a lot bigger. These are like beams and stuff. It had, like, if you notice about these schools, there's all these windows everywhere. And they're trying to get as much natural light in this big gigantic monolith as you can. I'll take you down some of the classrooms real quick on the first floor. Like, I got some of them labeled, I think. Let's see. Physics and recitation hall. You walk down the hallway and then there's your classroom right here. Like, if you ever watched, like, Everybody Hates Chris and, maybe even Saved by the Bell. Well, maybe not Saved by the Bell, because I think Saved by the Bell wasn't in the city. But Everybody Hates Chris and stuff like that. Like, you can kind of understand the architecture and, how classes were conducted back then. Like, I guess for inner city is what I'm trying to say. Because inner city is a lot different than out in the country bumpkin schools. It's different. Okay. What's this? The alleyway. Okay, so the alleyway, this is where they used to get all their freight and stuff at, way back in the day, and it was basically just a big tunnel, on the side of the street. Here's the side of the street. Up there's the front of the school, and over here's the side street. There's the new addition. So they quit using this when they made the new addition, because in the new addition, there's the new dock, and it's just better accessible for everything. Back in the day, you didn't have to roll things halfway down a hallway and stuff. Well, this would be the service elevator. It would take you to the second floor. And I did the second floor different for, honest to God, absolutely no reason. Because I thought that it would look more like tile if I did carpet, and it didn't. So, see, originally 244 and 246 was one room. So this is 244, and I'm assuming they built this wall right here, and it used to just go all the way through to here. So they needed more rooms. They needed less bigger rooms eventually. So I don't know what that says. Maybe they offered more and had the same amount of students. I don't know. But you had an elevator on this end, and directly diagonal, like if this is a square, on the other end of the square, you have another set of elevators. And I reckon for a long time they used to have service elevator people that would help you get from floor to floor or something. And then you also had like staircases. I don't think this staircase was originally here. I think they built that for whatever reason. But they had this staircase, and then they had another one down there, and then one on the completely other side. So I mean, they had a lot of stairs, but I don't know. So let's get out of this hallway, and we'll go. Like you can see, like this is a window that's peeking out into like, I guess it's kind of like a courtyard, but it's really not a courtyard. Oh, some of them had these colored walls. I guess they painted them for whatever reason. And you'll just see like random things like that in here. Pretty sure they went through like different colors as well. Like for school colors, like I think they was like red at one time, and maybe there was green and yellow at one time. Like, not for sure. I think all schools do that eventually though. Like they do like a rebrand. Because Breathitt County used to be the Breathitt County Owls, and then they became, I think, the Breathitt County Bobcats, and stuck with that. But now the Owsley County are the Owls. But yeah, it's a view you would have it, in your normal daily classroom. Like imagine looking at that, like going to school. That's cool. Like it's really cool. And then you go all the way up here, and you'd have your old mechanical drafting rooms. Like it'd be on the main top of the school, like up almost in it'd be the attic basically. You'd have these classrooms up in here. Like I'd love to have done that. So here's, I guess this is just a corridor for where the stairs come up. But I remember them saying like at one point they used to have classes out here under this awning. Like that's the reason that this was built like this. And I got a plaque over here that says, something on it. Shelter B. So I don't know where Shelter A is at. Maybe that's technically Shelter A and they just made a room out of it. Not for sure. But if you go down a story, see we came in that door over there. Now we went down the hallway and then we're over here now. This is basically like all ROTC rooms and classes, pretty sure. Like that's computer lab. Don't really say on that one, but it does say the room numbers. So I'm assuming these room numbers are actually right. Like that's an ROTC classroom. So now I'm assuming, like, I work delivery, and I didn't know this before, but like 733, that's the 7th floor and the 33rd room or something. I didn't know that. But they also had their own gym. And it wasn't a huge gym, like, it was just a recreational area, I guess, where they could run drills and stuff, but they always didn't have the ROTC up here. And eventually they did get ROTC up here. But, let's see. Can't figure if I want to go in or out. Let's go out this way. Like, over there, that little box that's just kind of protruding out of nowhere, that's a pigeon coop. So you would have had that, if you would have had, like, pigeon classes or whatever it was, you'd be able to do that. Now, this gives you vertigo looking down at this stuff, man. Let me get in the corner over here. Like, it's massive. I keep showing that side, but on this side, I mean, you got the auditorium on this side, and you ain't really got like a good view all the way up. But on this side, looks like a little city. I think that's just the maintenance room up there, like an elevator room. So, as you notice, this is a total different color than the rest. This is an addition that was put on. If we get overhead and look, it's just kind of flopped down, right alongside of it all the way down. And it's a big old piece of metal. That's exactly how it was. Let's go back in. Because there's some other nice little points about this thing. Okay, so this is the new building. But if we go down a floor, say, I guess it's how weird this building is. You can go over here. Let's open these up. You got new stairs directly outside of the old stairs that go all the way up and down the whole thing. Like, you don't need that many stairs. Now, I'm assuming one of them was cut off, but in the pictures I saw, it looked like they was both operational. I didn't really get a good look at the stairs on this side. There's not like a lot of pictures of them out there. But there's also elevators here. And then there's an elevator right here. So when they went and redid this other side, they really went and redid it. Instead of having like a figure eight method, they basically put a big long hallway up and down all the way down here. And then the classrooms are going to go all the way down the sides of them through here. I think we're too low. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're too low. Alright, we got to go up. Or do we got to go down? We got to go down. We're at the top, ain't we? Yeah, we're at the 5th floor. So, every floor, for whatever reason, they thought it would be a great idea to just have a lot of conference rooms. I bet you there's like 10 conference rooms in this school. Like, there's not that many meetings going on. You're not doing that many things. I don't care who you are or what you're doing. Like, you're not doing that many things to justify having 10 conference rooms. Unless you're a company that dedicates themselves to conferences, I mean, which is, why would you do it in a school? Maybe school's losing money. Maybe they're trying to get businesses to come in and use their space. Who knows? Alright. So that's basically all the old school. But I took you down the new hallway. I didn't take you down the old hallways. So, from my understanding, all this side's like classrooms. There's some classrooms on this side. That's the stairwell that runs up and down through here. There's another stairwell that runs through here. These are just hallways that runs. And offices, like I said, I think. But let's get a good look at it from overhead if we can. You can clearly tell. See, I think a lot of it had to waste a lot of money. Because hear me out here. Everything about this just don't make any sense to me. You got all these conference rooms that go up this way. But you're going to build hallways that run the length of the whole building. All the way down. When there's already a hallway that's already on the other side of that wall. That don't need to be there. What I'm saying is, if you didn't have that hallway there, you'd be fine. You could still operate, and you could still get to all these different portions of the school. Now, let's get rid of, like, these two levels of, like, well, that level of conference things. That's a waste of money. I don't know. I'm not an architect, I guess. I didn't pay for it to have to be built, and it's not built anymore, so what does that tell you? Now we're going into this became the entrance of the school when it became the new school. So this would be the hallway. I'm going to take you down the band hallway first. So this is all like recital hall, stage, band room, which is, imagine having a band room like this, guys. That'd be awesome. But if you go on down through here, it's like a hallway back here to like practice rooms. These are windows in the practice rooms. These are other practice rooms, like drum practice rooms and the harp room and whatnot. There I go, I did it again. On this side of the room is like a gym, ballet type thing. I'm not for sure. Let's walk back down this way. So this is the main hall. There's a staircase down here. It's really the only one that I can find that really makes sense to use. See, this is upper pool deck. So this is where people would sit. They come in and watch like swimming competitions and stuff. So remember the smaller one? I like the smaller one because it had windows. There's no windows in this anywhere. Think about that. It's just not natural. All right. Let me go up here, take the actual staircase. This is their cafeteria. The cafeteria is like really cool. And they had these things called light wheels, which would actually just port light into the school. Like apparently the light would come from here, and then it would filter its way down into the hallway from the big open area up here. This would be like where all the lunch ladies would be on the inside. See, we had a door that we'd walk in and we'd walk around and get our food. But I guess they would just walk around, this little aisle, and then all the tables and stuff would be sitting, through this way. All right, so let me show you the new gym, because there's not really many. It's not really many things left, in the school, and I kind of want to show off the rest of the town because I know this video is long, and I knew it was going to be long. There's just no way around that. If I just flash pictures on the screen. Okay, so this is the dance instruction room, like the ballerina room, what I was saying. There would have been mirrors on the walls, in some places. Okay, down this way, this would be the hallway to the gym. This is an auxiliary gymnasium, apparently. Like, I guess you could play, like, racquetball or something. I don't know. And then this would be the new gym. See, it's not absolutely terribly bigger than the old one, but you don't have the track, and, it's made for people to sit and look at things. These are the locker rooms. I try to make locker rooms accurate, but you don't get good pictures of stuff like that. Because everybody's always just trying to run through and take pictures and try not to get caught by the law. What does it say? To the projection room, to the locker rooms. Oh yeah, the projection room. So there's like this little theater up here. You can't even really see it from up here. So let's go down and investigate it real quick. And they wouldn't have been a step up. For some reason I had to make the step up, and I don't know why. But yeah, it's just a small little stage room. Literally as soon as you come in the front door of the school. Alright, and that is Cass Technical High School in Detroit, Michigan. And one day I might actually go back on here and do room by room, with the Detroit Tube Index on there, and, try to explain and stuff like that. But alright, so there's a subway that runs all the way down there, all the way back to Prime. And then there's one that runs all the way down here to Johntown. Me and my friend Glenn built this thing. It was one of the first things we built, and I've always just left it there. Got a pyramid here, and now, we made a full looper back to Johntown. So I'll take you over here. I guess this would be West Johntown. And this is my first house I built. Just a massive mansion thing. And I was like, well, that's just too much. So I left. Like, it wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't too much. It was just not what I wanted. But I love the road that leads into it. It's a lot better than the road I got now. This is the electric company. So it's designed kind of like a big giant battery, but it don't work like that. Eventually, I hope this thing like takes it over. I don't know. Big tower. This is the original Lee's College gym I built. It's actually nicer than the one that's on campus. But this is what Lee's College gym, looked like when they had basketball games, I guess. Alright. There's some bridges. Some more buildings. Here's another like arena. I haven't even showed you all the huge arena yet. You might have seen it at the beginning of this video, but this would have been like a soccer stadium or something, a little small soccer stadium. Then I built a library over here. Some shops. I made this like a tourist attraction. It's a ravine. You can go all the way to the bottom of it, and there's a little bridge built over there, and you can go under the water over here. Here's the shopping mall. Now we're on North Johntown. Here's that other big school I built. Which I'm not going to get into that another day. That's massive. And it's not easily laid out like the one we just went to. But you can kind of see in this shopping mall, there's a little track up here that people walk around, which is insane on how tall it is. You can see that used to be a pool table. And eventually I made the pool table part of the courtyard to the mall. So let's go. This is the Thompson House in Newport. Like you can walk in here. Here's where the little dude sits at. Here's one of the bars. And if you go over in here, down these stairs, this is where the stage and stuff's at downstairs. It's kind of neat. A lot of these places I've only been to one time, and I think I get them pretty accurate because the building layouts and stuff. And this is where all the musicians come up the stairs at. And it's right next door to this big gigantic arena. Okay. This is where I used to practice music. This is Kinder's. We used to have the drum set back there, and it used to be like a countertop. The back area. Some art pieces for whatever reason. A whole bunch of different art pieces here. Somebody on Final Fantasy, my ex-brother-in-law made that. I think his name's Cloud. This thing's kind of like an optical illusion. Like if you can line it up just right, and it'll. Let's see, where's it at? I think I'll stand right here. Yeah. And it kind of works. We're going to go into this big arena. So you get all your tickets here, whichever show you want to see, or whatever seat you want. Different people take different tickets. I guess, I don't know, sell different tickets. And if you walk in here, just a big, gigantic, massive arena. It is, what does it say here? It's 158 wide, the arena, from block to block. And I could turn all the lights on, all the lights off. There's a scoreboard in the works. It's a big, gigantic scoreboard, but probably won't be able to do some of it. That's what's peeking out the top up here. This is the wiring system for that. And I've only got like half of one side done, so like, no. This ain't happening. And then, I mean, that's basically, that's an arena for you. Let me get out of here. There's skyboxes and stuff up the main top of it, like railways lead directly into it. It's a big thing. This would be Titan Towers, I guess. Yeah, the World Wrestling Federation. Not Entertainment Federation. Because who cares? See what's going on in here. Oh god, there's a fucking orgy with fucking Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis in there. Oh god, let's get the hell out of here. I don't know what's going on. It smells like feces though. I think there's a ring down here. Yeah, a little small practice ring. We're literally back where we started. 3 little pigs. One made out of hay, wood, and brick. It's like a trailer court over here. This is the Family Guy house. I told y'all I'd show you Shauna's little house over here. It's cute.